This week, we attended a Border City wrestling show. We watched WWE Raw get woke dog, and then SmackDown Live may or may not have put us right back to sleep. All leading up to Clash of Champions and Royal Rumble next month. We're going to get into all that, plus a special call talking about the SICW event going on December 9th this week as we... Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling podcast in history. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Callie.
And the almighty one, Mikey. Orlando's running a little bit late today. The champ is pulling a other champ and taking a very, very extended leave of absence. Joe and Z will not be here as well. Sorry about that. Right off the bat, I just started talking, and then for some reason my phone heard Hey Siri thing, so it started going off. But it did not just go off right there when I said Hey Siri. Again, neither times. That's fucking stupid. I can't believe that. What the actual shit is going on with my phone? My phone actually did a weird little thing earlier today, right after the update. So that was strange. Very difficult. Very different. How you doing, Cals?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh.
That's
Oh.
all right.
Yeah, just I'm exhausted.
I know the feeling. I slept until 1:30 today. Afternoon.
I tried so hard to sleep in. Like, I'm working so many back-to-back days, honestly. Like, I only get 2 days, really, where I get 24 hours at home, and that's it.
Ew.
Yeah. So
That's gross.
I'm pretty worn out, but I can't complain when the paycheck comes.
Man, I passed out pretty early last night. I got woke up today by the kid.
I did too.
As always. Every time she's over, she wakes me up.
What a little asshole.
She has to go to
How
school.
dare she?
So she's like, Dad, it's time. And I'm like, cool. And I just fell back asleep.
Oh.
I don't know. And she woke me up. It was 5 minutes after we were supposed to have already left. And I was like, shit. All right. Took her to school. And this is like 6:45 in the morning. She wakes me up. So we were supposed to leave at 7. I woke up at 7:05. We left at 7:10. And then I get back home and then I crash. I wake up at 1:30. I was like, where the fuck is all this sleep coming from? I passed out before the show again today. I was just on the couch watching some TV, doing some catching up, watching last week's NXT because I thought it had something to do with anything for the setup, and that's actually tonight's NXT, the December 6th episode of NXT. So yeah, it was nothing, and I was watching. I was like, wow, it was pointless. And woke up, it was 8:30. I was like, shit, I gotta be at the fucking podcast studio. I don't want to be late. Like I don't know, maybe Orlando Christopher. Hey, man.
Am I on?
Yeah, we weren't ready for you because the show started. I don't know, maybe 4 minutes ago.
That's cool.
That's cool. Though. How you doing, man?
It's okay, Irma, so you're fine.
I'm one of 3 people who came today. I think I'm in the clear.
Yeah, I think you could be late today. Sure. Well, there's only 2 of us.
I like that I named it team.com.
So
Callie, Orlando, and Mikey. It's team.com. I like it. That's what we're working at. So yeah, I don't want to take mine off. It's cold.
It's like, what are you talking
I have 2 on.
No, all of a sudden, like, Orlando sits down, and I was like, oh, man, yeah, let's take off the jacket, because he's taking his jacket off. Like,
Is that like a chain reaction?
Yeah,
I'm supposed to do that too?
I don't want to take a jacket off. It's cool. I like it, man. We were just talking about how extremely exhausted we've been.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
You've been extremely exhausted too?
Yeah.
Says
yeah.
the fucker that was at the gym at 4 a.m.
Yes, I was. Gym 4
It's my
a.m.
favorite time to go at the gym,
I do,
actually.
Yeah, I do enjoy going that late because there's literally nobody there. But
What gym is open at that time?
Planet Fitness, Lifetime
Anytime,
Fitness.
yep.
Yeah, Anytime. Sorry, not Lifetime, but Anytime and Planet Fitness.
so there's a lot that are open that late. But I really do enjoy going at that time. When I got there was one other person there.
Fucker. I
And-
hate when there's like one person you're like, damn it, so close to having the whole gym to
I don't
myself.
care because,
I do.
it was just me and I felt really cool. Then he left, and for a while it was just me, but I was there for so long. By the end, it was almost like the morning schedule. People come in before work. So there's a bunch of
Yeah.
old people in me by the time I left. But
How long do you work out for?
well, last night was a longer night. It was an upper body day, so put in the work. Upper body business. All right.
Got to get these traps on. Got to get these traps looking good.
Right. What you know about these lats, huh?
I'm about to squat you, so don't even give me started.
You won't, but that's all right. Let's go ahead.
You know what? Really?
Oh, now I want to know, what do you both squat?
What do you squat?
Probably just.
No.
This, I guarantee you, is nowhere near what I
Well,
squat.
I want to know, what do you squat?
Right now I can squat almost my body weight.
Cool.
Okay, that's
So,
nothing.
that-
Get out of here. Move on. That's impressive for you, but not impressive for me. Move
What
on.
do you squat?
A lot more than that.
Fuck
Let's
off. What do you
move on.
squat?
I've never done how heavy. I've went, but I know I've done like 280,
Yeah,
and I
right,
did that
sure.
with set at 10.
Sure.
Okay. Anyways, and I'm not strong, but I'm just saying, come on.
He's got to get that 450 splash off.
Right. I gotta get that springing.
So he's got to be able to get good lift. Ladies and gentlemen, in the future, we are going to be doing the road to recovery for Mr. Orlando Christopher. We talked about this to ourselves, and he's always been the type that's like, I don't try and make a main thing out of him, because he's very humble. He's a good guy, great dude.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
He's
Let's
okay.
talk about squatting.
yeah. And,
Then he really sucks at talking about
But
it.
see, when competition comes in, that's when, you're like, oh, I'm the best. And that's fine. That's what you're supposed to be. But he never likes to make things about him. And so we're going to be doing a monthly series of, what his recovery time is, because hopefully
Sounds
we're looking
horrible.
like early to mid 2018 return.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're looking at end of February, early March.
Okay.
So,
wow.
so it's not that far away. So it's a couple months away. I've been in my rehab. I've been doing rehab, and been finally allowed to go get the okay in the gym. Obviously, hence
Right.
us talking about that. And I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Like I mean, I'm not ready to bump. I'm not ready to put that extra pressure on my neck and shit yet, but I feel good, and I feel like I'm getting in good shape again. I got a little chubby in my time off because I just stopped working out. I couldn't.
I know that feeling.
But I get it. But I'm working it back off, and I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I'll be back, and I'll be in better shape than I was when I left. So I'm feeling
That's
good.
always good.
That's usually it, though, too, because, even when we see, if people do major returns for any of the big companies and stuff, it's because you're off and you're doing so much rehab and working out, you're not doing the normal road stuff.
Right.
So, and, I know right now you're basically just kind of a weekend warrior with other stuff.
Right.
But
But it's also, when you're hurt from wrestling, you can't lift the way that you want. So, let's say you hurt your arm in a match, and maybe it's not broken or something, but it's just fucking bothering you. Well,
yeah.
fucking anything you do with your arms that week is going to fucking suck. You're going to have to go half-ass what you want to do in the gym. So, right now I don't have those issues, just my neck. So I can go lift what I want to lift, and I can go do what I want to do. So, plus I'm not doing cardio yet. So I feel like I'm just getting thick, which I like.
You're like, yeah, this is great, until you have to do cardio.
Right.
And you're like, I hate everything.
Right. Cardio is the worst.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I don't do it. I think all of working out is pretty bad, so I try to stay away from every last bit of it.
Really, it results in injury if you try to, do anything cardio, right?
Right, exactly. Every fucking time. And I figured this out. The first time I figured this out was when the Tigers had won, clinched the division. And I was like, it's a great day. I'm going to go get trashed. I got trashed. And I got trashed because it started off with Anibal Sanchez spraying champagne all over me.
I think I was at that game.
Yeah, it was a good game. And I was right there, right by the dugout, and he literally sprayed champagne. So all my friends went over to the bar and everything. We got trashed, and I had to get the softball. I was like, we got to hurry up. I got to get the softball. So I started running, and outside of Comerica Park, just fell. Just sprained the fuck out of my ankle badly.
Yeah.
To the point where when I went to the hospital the next day, because I'm always like, man, whatever. I know I sprained my ankle. I don't need a doctor to tell me I sprained my ankle. I just got to stay the fuck off of it. The next day it was really fucking bad. So I went in and the doctor was like, question. And I'm like, what? She was like, were you drinking at all yesterday? And I was like, yeah, I was pretty drunk when this happened. She goes, that explains why it's so bad. I was like, why? Because if you weren't drunk, you would have broken your ankle as bad as this sprain is. But because you were drunk, your muscles just folded the way they weren't supposed to. So now it's even worse for you because your ankle is sprained.
I was going to say a sprain is worse than a break. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was pissed.
Yeah.
I still try to play softball and everything. Like I went to the softball game. I was like, guys, like I can play. They were like, no, I was like, I'll be a catcher. It's fine. There's no running involved.
No, that's most of my injuries are on my legs up until this neck stuff. And same thing. It's always something stupid. And I put it off. And I have one ankle that looks like it's 4 times the size of my other ankle because I just never took care of it properly. Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, so I'm right there with you on the leg injuries, man.
Do you tape up pretty heavily before matches then because of that?
Well, I tore my Achilles once.
Ooh.
And I didn't know I tore my Achilles at first. I thought it was just the thing is with ankles and foot injuries, they all feel the fucking same. They hurt like hell, and you don't know because I've broken it, and I broke my other ankle and stuff, and it felt the exact same. So I didn't know what was wrong. I just knew it was swollen and fucked up, and I had a triple shot, so it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I was like, okay, well, adrenaline has always had my back during the match. So I was like, adrenaline will get me through it. I'll just kind of work my way around it, and I go to get up on the ropes. Because at home I was using crutches, and then I get to the show and I don't want to show anybody that I'm hurt, so I just got it taped heavily, and I'm just kind of, making it look like that's part of my walk now. Right? I just got that cool limp on the way to the ring, lean back. So, anyways, I get up and I just go try to stand on the second rope to do a pose, and like there was no give, like I couldn't push at all, and I was like, oh shit, I'm fucked. So then for about 4 or 5 months, I worked matches all off my back, where like the whole match was me just fighting from the ground because I couldn't hit the ropes. I couldn't take what we call a front bump, where we flip and our feet hit the mat. So no like suplexes, nobody give me anything like that. I could take a back bump, someone clothesline me or something, I could take that. But I couldn't take any front bumps for months. I did matches like that and just fought off my back and told a story that way. It made me a better worker in a lot of regards, but it was probably the worst injury I ever had, and it took probably over a year to heal. So because I didn't get it, properly taken care of, and I was still wrestling.
So a back bump is when you fall on your back, but like when you're falling backwards on your back.
Like clothesline.
And so a front bump is then when you're falling on your back, but in a flip forward motion.
Yes, and so on those flip forward motions, you'll notice our feet really smack the mat. Of course, though, I will say when you're talking about front bumps and stuff, different areas will call different bumps different things. So a front bump to somebody maybe in the South or a different area, a front bump might be where they fall forward, like onto their chest.
That's my first thought.
And so,
but I heard that's a face bump then.
Yeah, so a lot of different areas call it different things. It's the same thing with, the tackle drop down spot. Some people, call that like an around the world spot. There's different areas called things a little bit different names, but it's all the same mechanics essentially.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah. So I worked a long time because of fucking that, and I had my first match with a broken ankle. I broke my ankle right before I had my first match.
Wow.
And that's the reason why my one ankle is now 4 times the size of the other one. And I only went to the hospital one time because I'm stubborn, right? I don't go.
Same.
I won't. It's just a man thing. Like, we don't like to fucking go.
Well, I've also sprained my ankle before, so I know,
right.
like you're saying, I
you
know the feeling.
Right, and I'm telling you right now, when you break an ankle and you sprain it, it feels the same. Like, you can't tell what it is. If you've ever rolled your ankle really bad playing basketball, it feels the exact same as when you break it. Like, there is no difference in the feeling. And so, Mikey's finally gave in, took that jacket off. Yeah. And then, so I went probably a month after my ankle was broken because my foot was huge and it was turning purple. My toes were like purple. Oh, wow. And I was starting to get scared about blood clots at this point. Yeah. So then I was getting scared because that's how Chris Candino dies, blood clots. And I was thinking, dude, I could die from this. Yep. Oh, and then I was starting to get scared that they might have to like amputate my toes and stuff because they were like cold to the touch. And I went in, and the doctor, before she even gave me an X-ray, she's like, how are you even walking on this? she's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, your ankle is broken. I don't even have to give you an X-ray. Your ankle is broken. And I was like, okay, but what about this blood clotting? and she was like, what'd you tell me? This is like years ago. And she told me, the blood clotting was in my skin or something, so it wasn't like an issue.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means, but I was like, sweet. So nothing, I'm not gonna die and just swollen. She gave me like a thing to go to like the ER and go get my ankle taken care of, and I just never went because once I found out I didn't have blood clots in my foot,
You just didn't care.
right? I was like, no, I got to get back in the ring. So,
Oh my God.
and that's wrestling mentality, and that's also. Again, it's different time period. Now people treat injuries a lot more serious. But when I started, it was like you were told, and it was one of the things, the rules of etiquette that we talk about, all these crazy rules, that if you're hurt, you lose your spot because there's somebody else coming in to fill that. And there's some truth to that. You know what I mean? And
even
so,
now, there's still some truth to
and
that.
so like the idea was you work through the pain unless it's something you absolutely can't.
Right.
Again, I remember getting knocked out cold, getting concussion at a show, and like no big deal. That was like a badge of honor back in the day. It was like concussion, boom, no problem. Now we talk about concussions like, oh shit, dude, like
Right.
you need to go get this checked out. Like it's just a different culture in general, let alone in the wrestling business. But yeah, I wrestled through a broken ankle for the first 6 months because it's only a 2-month healing process. But when you're still on it, it's not fucking healing.
Yeah.
So now I got a giant ankle. So the week in wrestling, huh, guys?
Yeah. A couple things to talk about news wise. First off, USA Today is reporting that Ronda Rousey is finalizing details that will bring her to the WWE. Like, so we're talking about this finally happening, even though, she appeared in the Mae Young. There was a classic. There were some things put together for that.
She was training. She has been training, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has been.
With Brian Kendrick, right?
Yeah. But, and he also trained, Eva Marie when she was doing her comeback and everything like that. He's trained a lot of people, actually. He's
I know a couple guys that he's trained personally too.
And so nothing's officially announced by WWE, but this is just coming out from USA Today, the finalizing of the details. And she made her last appearance at WrestleMania. Obviously, before the Mae Young Classic, she was at WrestleMania 31, where she did the spot with The Rock inside of the ring, where she did a flip hip toss to Triple H and put Stephanie in the armbar, I want to say. And there was a lot of build, a lot of talk, a lot of conversations during the Mae Young Classic when there was the stuff with her, Shayna Baszler, and the 4 horsewomen of MMA and the 4 horsewomen of WWE. So, again, kind of like with the Matt Hardy stuff, are we feeling, and I want to start with Callie, are we feeling that this is too late, or is there still the same amount of hype, or maybe even more because of it's been so long and now it kind of died down to nothing and now this just popped back up?
I'm definitely excited if this is something that's truly going to happen. It has lost a bit of momentum. Because I do kind of wish that they would have given more updates on her or just kind of follow along with the progress or just, I don't know, just something. Maybe some like social media banter in between all of them a little bit more. But I think it does lose a little bit, but I think it's still something that when it comes to be is going to be a big thing.
There was even like a video that she posted on December 1st on her Twitter of, where she had been training in the ring and sometimes at the WWE Performance Center. So even more so looking like, why would you be at the Performance Center if you're not going to have some kind of at least talks going on with the people down there, Triple H, Matt Bloom.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt to me that she's going to end up in WWE just because of her star power. Her star has fallen a little bit because she was just so over a couple of years ago. Like in mainstream culture, people were talking like Ronda Rousey could beat fucking Mayweather and like just crazy shit that like I think everyone's like chilled out.
When she took those 2 losses.
Yeah, she took those 2 losses and I think like, okay, everyone's kind of chilled out about. But to your point, Mike, I think her being away and kind of out of the spotlight to kind of come back in WWE, I think will be a big thing because I think everyone's going to kind of put those losses behind it. Kind of Rousey 100%. Mania is going to be running a little wild in pro wrestling form. So I think it'll be, and I think she's going to be Brock Lesnar of that division. She has to be. Like, what else? You can't have her come in and have like super competitive matches at first. Like she can later. You can present a match with her and Charlotte at some point where it's competitive. You can present a match with her and Asuka where but if any of those other girls are in her way, I think she just runs through them.
I 100% wholeheartedly agree.
I hope that's what they would do. to be honest.
I mean, yeah, we've had these conversations before about how we think, because we were all surprised Asuka had those 50-50 matches on her first 2 main roster debut matches, and then went through a few squash matches, including 2 weeks ago on Raw when she just flipped Dana Brooke for the tap, which was just weird because, again, she did the armbar this week, so it makes me wonder about the Asuka lock and everything. I remember last week Michael Cole called it an Asuka lock. I was like, no, that was an armbar. I mean, that was no, that's not an armbar. It's what's it called, Orlando? That's what Ronda Rousey.
Yes, it's cross armbar.
It's cross armbar. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was confused about our missing former champion. And before we go into Raw, Sports Illustrated, Justin Barrasso dropped another Weekend Wrestling, and the latest on the WOKEN Matt Hardy. So we'll pair this in with Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw featured a back and forth promo between Bray Wyatt and WOKEN Matt Hardy. And by back and forth, I don't mean they were looking at each other in the ring. It was backstage vignettes that cut from one guy to the next guy. Bray was in his little element area with the light spotlight over him and the fog and everything, like the old Bray Wyatt mystique demeanor that he has going on. And then WOKEN Matt Hardy in front of a crinkled blue backdrop. It was really weird to me because I was like, that's just doesn't even like, it wasn't even like at House Hardy or something like that. But again, I was like, me personally, I was like, fuck, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Well, and I'm going to read directly from the article on Justin Barrasso on Sports Illustrated. Matt Hardy's broken status has reawoken, and there's a significant proponent of the woken character in WWE, Vince McMahon. Hardy's mannerisms, creativity, and passion for the character will be on full display within his woken state. A contact within WWE reached out to inform Sports Illustrated that Hardy will be allowed a creative license by McMahon, who sees opportunity and the opportunity to cash in on a character that is already established. Hardy has long faced criticism that he cannot be a top star in wrestling and that McMahon does not view him in that light. Yet McMahon has known Hardy for over 2 decades, and the chairman clearly trusts Hardy enough to give him the opportunity to connect his character with the vast WWE audience. Hardy's broken and woken characters also connect back to Anthem Sports and Entertainment, which is the parent company of Impact. Ed Nordholm, who is president of Anthem Wrestling Exhibitions, still controls the Broken Universe intellectual property that Hardy and his wife Rebby created. Both parties in Anthem and the Hardys believe that they have rightful ownerships of the IP, and the possibility exists that Hardy works out a deal with Anthem for the rights to the Broken character. There are currently no discussions between Anthem and Hardy. During his time as an executive with Impact, Jeff Jarrett certainly felt the same way about Hardy's star power. Jarrett believed Jeff Hardy was the sole star of the Hardys, while Matt was just part of the act. Hardy is motivated to prove otherwise with his woken character on the WWE stage. As stated before, we have a very special connection with the woken Matt universe, just because it was literally the only thing that Orlando Christopher has ever given a 10 that he's viewed in his entire wrestling career. It's the only thing that has popped him to a 10.
I love their segment on Raw too.
And he brought it to us. So then we watched it, and some of us hated it. So I think I gave it a 10 as well.
I think at first people dislike it. It's one of those things like, even at first you go, this is dumb. This is so dumb.
Right.
By the end, by the next time you see it or the next, you're like, fucking A, you can't, it's so ridiculous that you have to enjoy it.
Because they're not taking it seriously.
No, and I think that's what I loved about the Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy. Because here's Bray Wyatt doing another rambling fucking promo, and we go, here we go again.
Right.
Cut to Matt Hardy doing a rambling promo, but in a very fun, ridiculous fucking way that you can actually get behind. Cut back to Bray doing his promo. And I actually enjoyed the dichotomy between the two there, because one was trying to be so serious, and the other, I guess his character is trying to be serious, but everyone knows it isn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess he's the only one that's like not in on the joke, like, which is what makes it over.
Matt, you mean?
Yeah, Matt. Okay. Like he is obviously aware of it, but like when he's in character, like he really is in character, man, and it's so silly to us, but it gets. How could you not get behind it? Like when he's just rambling on about how he danced with Cleopatra,
right?
And and he's talking in this funny way. And then I loved at the end them laughing, cutting back and forth between them laughing. I thought that was ridiculous. I legitimately popped and laughed watching wrestling, which I haven't done in, I can't remember the last time, maybe since Santino did something funny or something. So it was the first time something funny has actually made me laugh in wrestling in forever. And so I thought it was the best segment of the week. It was Matt Hardy being awoken.
Right. I'm trying to pull up everything just so we can hear these promos. So here we go.
Who is Matt Hardy? I know. The universe knows. But I don't think he knows. Yeah. For millennia, my soul has wandered through space and time. But not all who wander are lost. Matt Hardy is a fool. A charade. An illusion to mask his own failures and insecurities. Matt Hardy knows nothing of what is actually real. I am well versed in all facets of the multiverse. I have studied at the Library of Alexandria, battled alongside Genghis Khan, danced with Cleopatra, held symposiums with Plato, and meditated atop the Great Pyramid of Giza. The ramblings of a madman can be very dangerous, especially for those of you who listen. Due to my condition, I have laid dormant inside this vessel called Matthew Hardy. But now, thanks to the consumer of terrestrial entities, I have been woken. Last week was not Matt Hardy's
It
birthday.
just clicked that he said Eater of Worlds when he said consumer.
I actually feel alive again. My heart is pumping, and there's a fire in me that is only growing stronger. And my fire will not cleanse you. My fire will not save you. My fire will make sure all of you burn. Bray Wyatt, you left me with no choice. I sentenced you to deletion!
How can you not laugh with that?
This one cuts back to Matt.
Right.
Booker, you care to interpret? Catch all that book.
So there you go. Ridiculous as shit. But the dichotomy between Bray Wyatt saying ridiculous shit and trying to be realistic, and Matt Hardy just going so over the top. It's like, I loved the cut in between. At first, I was like, "Whoa, this is weird that they're doing this." But by the end, and they're doing the laughing, and it's cutting from Bray's serious "look at me, I'm evil" laugh to Matt's just ridiculous.
Oh, yes.
You look like an idiot when you do that.
So does he.
So does he. But I think that's the joy of it. It reminds me. I'm trying to think of something that's so silly that you can't help but fucking just enjoy it. I don't know, something silly. It doesn't even have to be wrestling. Whatever, you guys get the fucking point.
Yeah. I mean, like Ace
Like his
Ventura.
impressions.
Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing serious about the movie Ace Ventura, right? It's 100% a joke. We know that that's not really what fucking there's no real pet detectives. On top of that, that's not what actual detectives do. He doesn't stick their head fucking with the windows busted, so he's gonna drive down the road with his head out because that's totally legal. It's just stupid and it's funny.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
And as long as WWE doesn't take it serious and they let Matt play it the way Matt wants to play it, I think that this could be huge. And that's what we said last week too.
And that's what and I think this was a good start. I didn't like it at first because it was just out of nowhere that he comes on the Titantron in character like that. But as the promo goes on, I loved it. I thought it was the best segment of the week.
See, I've also heard that. And I don't know if it's out of nowhere because he's taken quite a few losses back to back to back. Braun beat him up. We thought that's the possibility right there. He's finally going to break him. And then we were all like, why didn't Kane fight Matt the next week instead of like destroying Finn? And there was the perfect opportunity there. And then you had this, but then he started doing, flips. Like he started the moonsault all of a sudden out of nowhere, which, well, it looked good, never hit. But on social media, which is where his character also did a lot of stuff through the Impact, was a lot of social media push, YouTube, things like that. He put out a YouTube video in between the days saying, telling Senor Benjamin to go get his coat of arms. And he went and he picked that up and he put that on. So while he did on TV come out, social media Matt Hardy has been putting out more and more type things for the breaking of it. And that's where I'm like, yeah, on TV it was out of nowhere, but this is the same character that broke out of, there was no slow build to his break television wise. It was slow build break social media wise. And then he popped up, because even the character was injured, and Willow came out and started fighting Jeff Hardy. And then it was Matt, then Matt comes out. So it's not like he was just off TV for a while. So they had to do a different type of thing here to where Matt's not off TV, and so now we have to build him up on television and in social media. And so that's why I'm of the point where it's like, no, this isn't the slow bit. It's not super abrupt, but it's also not a slow build, What I do want to point out is on the 5th of December, Matt Hardy quoted a tweet from Bray Wyatt. And the quoted tweet says, "A solar revolution later, I'm here." It was on December 12th, 2016. Matt Hardy tweeted, "I formally invite Meek Man's SD Live champs, the family of Wyatts, to total nonstop deletion. Our universes must collide. #apocalypto." And then Bray on the 13th of December, or 12:43 a.m., so technically the same night, said, "You know where to find us." And Matt quoted the "You know where to find us," saying, "A solar revolution later, I'm here." It's basically been a year since the stuff started with WWE.
Yeah, been there since WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about since the first conversations with Matt on social media with the things going on. So December 12th, 2016, we're now December 4th, 2017, and Matt was on in the woken, broken state, which is kind of cool timing. I don't know if that was the full plan. It more than likely wasn't, but the road led here. What?
Yep.
You all right?
Yeah.
Just because I did the hand motion.
Oh, we're good.
You all right? Did you break yourself?
Nope, we're good. Continue.
So what did you think about the WOKEN Matt? Yes.
A little cheesy.
Yeah. 100%.
Exactly. 100%. I agree.
I just don't know what to think of it yet, honestly.
I bet you in a couple of weeks you'll like it. It's one of those things like
yeah,
you don't want to.
I just
because that's exactly how I felt. The first couple times I seen it, I was like, man, this is cheesy. This is bad.
I mean, I liked it when we watched whatever that special was.
Total nonstop deletion.
Yeah, that thing. I like that a lot. Deletion. Yeah, I thought that was stupidly awesome. This I'm having like
a dilapidated boat. It comes back.
But with this, are you okay?
So I'm just thinking of all the past, Roman candle fights. How even like on the 4th of July, Z and I had Roman candles,
so
and he's like, "Let's do a Roman candle fight," like fucking Broken Matt. It's one of those things that just officially put itself into wrestling echelons upper echelon.
Yeah.
You know,
It's so fucking entertaining, and yes, it's cheesy. It's cheesy as fuck. It's probably the cheesiest gimmick I've ever seen get over.
Probably. I don't know. I guess this time it's like his accent this time is what's killing me.
You know, I will say
It's weird.
When I
It's
first
like I
watched
can't like I'm not. It makes my skin kind of just crawl. I don't know. I don't.
I don't know, man. I love
And then that laugh. That laugh is something. No, it's not even that one. It's something else.
What?
It's different. It's different this time.
I will say I think it's going to take him a minute to get back into it fully because
I'm hoping that as it progresses, it gets better. And I
he
like it
even
more.
said like when he first got out of it, someone did an interview with him and he was like, it's really difficult to go for being as long as I was in that character at all times. No matter when he did an interview, no matter what promotion he went to, he was the same character all the time. He was typing like it. He was speaking like he was 100% his character. And it was just, it got to the point that he said it was really difficult for him to go back to talking regular. Like to go back, he kind of forgot how to be Matt Hardy because he literally became broken.
Like, but was he like not Matt Hardy at home? Like, because I don't know how I'd feel if like I married a man and he turned into this character and then came home every night.
Man, you should hear stories about old time wrestlers doing that to their wife and kids all the time.
I think I would go crazy. Like
that old school, that's what they did.
That's crazy.
If they got injured, quote unquote, on TV, they'd work the injury even at home back in the day. Which is unreal. Could you imagine having your wife pick up all these things for you? You're not really hurt.
I'd be so pissed.
Man, I'm about to get injured. Again, yeah. Should have exploited that.
All right, idiot.
Here I
Snooze,
am.
you lose.
But there was even back then though, with the original broken character, his kid and wife were involved. Like Rebby was in there. Senor Benjamin is her father. I think is actually her father. King Maxwell, his son, was in it. You know,
Right. Well, King Maxwell was himself. Like,
I mean, he was a kid.
he's a kid, so it's like really, he's just having a great old time. So
Right.
I don't know. I guess if like he's really gonna get into it like that, like everyone might as well just get into it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kudos to them. Takes a special person.
He put out a tweet that said #Raw is now magic. The Woken era has arrived. There is a myriad of villains and demons to delete on this plane identified as WWE. And so it's a photo of him in front of the backdrop and stuff. But then what's really cool is he had the old broken, give me where it said broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
The W and the R is replaced with the WWE logo. So it says
Nice.
Woken. And I'm like, wow, that's the only other time I've seen anyone creatively use that. And on top of that, because Miz does it. Miz did it when he took it and he flipped it upside down.
Yes, he did.
Wow, okay.
Shout out to
So
whatever female
if
left that.
they do that and they make that the Woken logo, dude, there's no way Vince isn't going to get behind that. Because it's literally his logo everywhere. Like, we're not saying, oh, broken man. Like, you want to have someone buy a shirt that just has the WWE logo, but it has that with OKEN behind it? Dude, they'll buy that. There's fucking people buying Happy Rusev Day shirts right now. Right? Which, I mean, I'd buy. Let's be honest. I would totally buy a Rusev Day shirt. Because that's, you're right with it?
Yeah.
Just as cheesy and just as over, in my honest opinion.
I like that, the whole Rusev Day thing.
So yeah, more stuff for Raw. Roman comes out at the beginning. Angle comes out in the beginning stating who he's going to tell is Roman's opponent for the Intercontinental Championship. I want to say Jason Jordan came down first. I was like, no, before you say this, I've stepped in the ring with all of them. I've held my own, blah, blah, blah. I can beat Roman Reigns. And then Roman comes out and he goes, whatever. You want something, just come and take it. You know, he wants Joe. And then Joe comes out and he stands on the stage and he says he's going to put him to sleep, so on and so forth. And then Jason Jordan hits a suplex on Roman Reigns. So Roman says he wants to fight Jason Jordan right then, right there for the IC title. And they did. And damn good fucking match. Roman Reigns went over on Jason Jordan, but there was more stuff after because Joe comes down, who was watching the whole time on the ramp, said he was going to put him out, comes in, he starts choking out Reigns. Jordan kicks him off, and then goes outside, and then then kicks Joe off of Reigns, but then Reigns comes up and blasts Jason Jordan from behind. So then they're in the back, and then, Jason Jordan's talking to his dad, and then Samoa Joe out of nowhere just slams him into the wall. He goes, think he wasn't going to find you? Think he wasn't going to find? God, I love Joe. Joe's character is so good on Raw.
Believable.
So fucking good, yes. Then Paige comes out, defeats Sasha Banks. Drew Gulak won the fatal 4-way.
I like that match, actually.
For the see who was going to face off against
each other.
Not a lot
of cruiserweight stuff on Raw. I enjoy it. I thought that was good.
Yeah. So Drew Gulak went over Cedric the Entertainer.
Cruiserweight.
Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Abbs. Braun Strowman then came out and attacked Elias because Elias wanted some competition. And then he got some, and Braun Strowman. Asuka comes out, defeats Alicia Fox, to which Absolution comes out again, and Paige says Foxy doesn't have to worry. She's her friend. She loves her. She would never attack her. But Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville might not feel the same way. And then they beat her ass up. Then they sit over her. Finn Balor got a win on Raw for the first time in months, where he went over perennial jobber Bo Dallas. Then the Matt Hardy Bray Wyatt segment that we were talking about happened. And the Raw Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Sheamus defeated Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins with a in a disqualification normal way, I guess. I can't think of how to say it.
The regular
They
match?
cheated. They cheated. They fucking cheated. Kurt Angle says, no, that's not how this is going down. This is now a no DQ match.
To which then they lost anyway.
Yeah. Samoa Joe comes out, starts beating up Ambrose and Rollins. Reigns comes out. Joe runs. Another bro kick out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus and Cesaro retained the titles, which I was surprised about because I heard Sheamus has a neck injury now. And I was thinking they were going to write him off TV, but I guess not.
Just kidding.
Maybe he's waiting for said pay-per-view match to
Royal
take
Rumble?
time off, or I don't know. Maybe it's not. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a neck injury, but he can wait. I don't know. It's really hard to say without knowing what the injury is.
Right. So, me personally, I felt that this Raw was kind of a fast-paced Raw. It didn't really have any points to it to where I was super bored, or that even right now I could go, man, that was stupid.
No, it was. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a tolerable episode. Tolerable is the word I'll give it. I liked some of the in-ring stuff. I was getting cringeworthy with the Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle shit.
Mm-hmm. But luckily, that was just the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and I don't mind like the idea of it. I just feel like they let them go too damn long. You know, like
The match?
no, their promo. Like
yeah.
I don't need that much. I don't need that much of them talking father-son stuff in front of everybody. You know, just make it more subtle. I just feel like WWE is like scared of being subtle. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they fear subtlety. They have to be like so like, let's play this down to the dumbest fan, so that way they understand that he's still his dad. It's not, you know. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It was whatever. They just talk too fucking much for me. For those two in particular, they just talk too much. A lot of it was just filler. Elias getting killed by Strowman was filler.
That's the one thing that really ticked me off about Raw, because just the week before they had him go with Roman in a really, really good match. And then you have Braun Strowman come out and just destroy him.
Yeah.
You know, even though he got the guitar shot off and everything. Cool. What did it do to Braun? Nothing. It's not like he did anything more to Braun than anyone else has. Mm-hmm. So Braun, again, took it to him. Yeah, Kane comes out and whatever. But again, a guy that you just put in a really good spot from the match he had last week to taking on.
Well, I just don't think they have anything for him right now. You know, I just don't think they don't know what to do with him right this moment. But I also thought the Finn Balor Bo Dallas match is weird. That was a weird. Not that I have a problem with the match or anything. It's just I don't. Who in the right mind would think that Bo Dallas stands a chance in that match.
I would now because of how they've built Finn.
I still don't think so. Not Bo. Not if it was even a mid card. If it was Elias, I'd say okay, maybe. Not Bo. Just Bo. I can't remember the last time I've even seen Bo win a match. Maybe something with the Miz as a part of a team or something. But I can't remember the last time I've seen Bo win a singles match. Maybe when he was doing that little brief singles run when they were trying to. I don't know. He's a perennial jobber. You know, and that's okay. The company needs that, but what a weird match to put on Raw. I thought it was very strange.
You know what? Again, I was like, well, hey, Finn won.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I was, it's yeah.
And we'll talk about this more when we get to SmackDown segs. I thought it was worse, but I don't like these women groups. I don't like them. They are not enjoyable to watch on TV. The Paige one is better than the Riot Squad on SmackDown, which we'll get to. So I didn't mind them so much on Raw this week. It just seems like they don't fit in. It just seems like 3 random girls and 3 random girls, and at no point do any of them look like they'd even remotely be friends in real life.
Right.
And it looks so strange, and there's no reason why Absolution, which is, by the way, is a terrible fucking name. I hate that name. Sounds like something a teenager would come up with. And the Riot Squad. Okay.
The Riot Squad's not bad.
No, whatever. They're both bad. and again, to me, there's no consistency. It's just like these are just 3 random girls on each show that they wanted to introduce.
I'll give you Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, and Paige because it makes sense why those girls are following Paige. The story, I mean, granted, it wasn't that great of a promo last week, but it made sense. No, before all of this other stuff that you guys are talking about with the women's revolution stuff, there was Paige, and we remember Paige. You guys all forgot about Paige. Paige takes us under her wing. I get that. The Riot Squad makes abso-fucking-lutely zero sense.
But I have an issue with even the Paige thing making sense. That one girl is
Mandy or Sonya?
The blonde is Mandy.
Not the blonde.
So Sonya.
Sonya is significantly better than Paige in the ring.
Yeah.
And has been wrestling significantly longer than her. And so I hate the idea when they bring in Paige has only been in WWE for fucking a handful of years. Right. And she's been out for the last fucking whatever. She's only like 24, 25. She's not a very old fucking chick.
Right.
So to her to be like mentoring these people who are better than her, who have wrestled longer than her, I just think it's like, how dumb, again, do you think we fucking are? Like, to buy into that.
I think the way that you buy into it is that if I'm the young one, I'm going to be in charge, I'm going to want people with obviously experience, and I'm going to want people to take people under my wing that are going to do a good job and not just little nobodies.
Okay. I agree with the premise. I think
you're taking it too much with the indie stuff, though.
No, I don't just mean indie stuff. I just mean like just even the little stuff that we've seen of what's her name again?
Sonya.
Sonya. She's significantly better than Paige.
She did the whole.
Yeah, she's just significantly better than Paige in the ring as a performer. She's obviously been wrestling a lot longer, and so it's fine if you want to have the younger girl, the more star lead, but don't do it under the premise that she's their mentor. Do it under the premise that she's fucking leading this, and this is why, well, whatever. But like, don't be like, oh, I'm teaching them to be like, fuck that. That's not why they're with you. Like, there has to be more substance to it than that.
I don't know if it's like wrestling mentor other than now they're on the main roster type mentor.
Again, it's still early, so
Right.
maybe they'll give it some more depth over time. But right now, I just see 2 random hodgepodge of fucking women show up in each show that they don't have anything else for, but they wanted to introduce a new girl, so ta-da.
I think the SmackDown one they really killed.
Yeah, the SmackDown one is really bad.
Yeah, and
we'll get there.
No, let's fucking, come on, we're just talking the weekend
Sure.
wrestling. That's all we're doing. So the way this one happened with this week was there was the backstage segment of the girls talking about why they're not involved in a match, in the title match at Clash of Champions. And Daniel Bryan's like, look, because you're not champion. Sorry, that's why Tamina's not involved. But Carmella, if you want to be involved, all you got to do is hand me that case. And she said no. And then that's when the Riot Squad comes in. And Ruby Wyatt. Oh, no. That's not Sister Abigail. She starts talking about how why isn't she involved? You know, she pinned their champion and she's not involved in the Clash match. And then Liv Morgan started saying that he has a thing against blondes because his wife is a brunette. And that made no fucking sense. And then fucking Sarah Logan just what the fuck rambled. Like it was she was like, my pappy said, you don't like girls from the South. That's why we're not in. I was like, what? And then they go out to the ring where the match happened. But between,
Charlotte and Tamina.
Yeah, Charlotte and Tamina. And she started talking again. And she was, both times I'm just like, what the fuck is she saying? Because it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well,
none of it made sense, but that was really
right. And look, man, I don't put that on her. You know, that's obviously writing. That's someone handing her a script saying, that's what you're going to say, and I need you to say it as Southern as possible to be different than what's going on in Raw. And it's stupid.
But they just need a few fucking rebels to be like, hey, explain to me why it makes sense that we're complaining about a title shot after we've been here for a week. You know, common sense, just even from that point alone. What is your point why you would get a title shot?
If if Liv and Sarah Logan were vouching for why Riot should have in the match because she won the week before, that's different. I get that one. At least there's a pinfall-ish victory over it. And I get, but for Liv and Sarah Logan to say that they should be in the match too. Yeah, you're right. It made no fucking sense.
And the fact that Daniel Bryan's been holding him down for what, 2 weeks? You've only been there for 2 weeks. Like, what are you talking? The whole segment was just shit. It was shit. And I don't know how else to put it. The Raw women, at least I can tolerate. I can get through that. I don't like it because they don't look like a group to me. They just look like random fucking women thrown together. All that stuff. But they're tolerable. Over on this side, nothing is making sense. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like they're literally trying to shadow what Raw does, but somehow manage to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like, all you had to do, if you're going to repeat the storyline, just repeat the storyline. At least that would have been whatever. This is actually bad. You took an already repeated storyline and then somehow made it worse. I don't...
Yeah.
What do you have to say on it, Cal?
I just... Like, out of all the people you could have brought up, why those three? Ruby, okay. Sure, whatever. Liv, okay, well, at least they were in NXT together. Where the fuck did Sarah Logan come from? I understand she was in the May Classic, and yes, I understand that she's been with the company before, but out of all the three people you could have meshed together, that's who you're going to choose to mesh together?
Well, who would you think that they could have brought up instead? I think Peyton Royce has a possibility of running as the NXT Women's Champion, so you can't take her up. And in the same light, you can't take Billie Kay away from her. Kairi Sane
they have
is
to go
still
together. I understand that. Hold
Ember
on.
is your title holder right now.
I wouldn't have put these three in a fucking group. First off, if I was doing a group, I guess I would have done Paige, Ruby Riott, and the one girl I keep forgetting her fucking
Sonya
name.
Deville.
Nikki Cross.
I would have put them, or even Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross.
They at least look wise. They would look like a group to me. They look like they would hang out. There's no way these two groups of women, I know it's wrestling, so we all do hang out backstage, but it's no way from a believable standpoint of just pure high school, like that you could visualize these people.
Character-wise, no. I know that Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan are besties outside of.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But character-wise,
right? I'm friends with Zara, and her best friend is Liv Morgan and Paige, and so like I okay, like, but I just on TV it would be like, all right, my gimmick's a punk rock guy, and you put me with a fucking frat boy and a fucking amateur wrestler.
Right. I think that you should have put.
We would look just so funky together.
Mandy Rose and Liv together.
Because they're blondes.
Well, yeah, just because they've got they just mesh well.
Right.
It's just
what if they came up and were like fucking Carmella's little fucking lackeys? That would look right to me. Like that would
great.
Visually, I would go, okay, you guys all look alike.
Right?
Now tell me how to stand out a little bit, but you all look like you would hang out.
It's funny that they put Liv with Mela.
I mean, it's better than having her on the fucking show that she just broke up with. Enzo. Yeah, I know. Carmella stole her gimmick, but Liv and Enzo just had a pretty public breakup.
Liv and Enzo just broke up? They were together?
Yeah, they were dating for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, interesting.
I also get the dichotomy of wanting to make each person look different, but I agree that it's of too drastic of a difference between these girls.
Yeah, they just don't look like they would be friends. It just looks weird to me. When I see them all together on each show, I go, this doesn't look believable to me. There's nothing. This looks completely scripted that these three girls are coming out together. It's not like when NXT, what was the Nexus came out, and it was a bunch of different guys, but with the same cause. Mm-hmm. These aren't people with the same cause like that. It's not. There's no substance behind these groups yet where you can be like, oh, it makes sense for them to be together. So, anywho, whatever.
No, I agree. What, Kel?
I didn't know that Lacey Evans is now on NXT. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm sorry. I really
She's had a couple matches on there.
Yeah, well, don't watch NXT, so
That's you what?
Dude, you really?
No.
Really?
That
That's
was
surprising you?
Yeah, because that's the one you can watch the easiest.
Sure. Not really. Because, I mean, Hulu's easier to watch for me than sorry, I realized that was going to be so loud when I was doing that. Yeah, Hulu, I know the password and email to Hulu better than I know the WWE password.
You should just have it hooked up.
Well, yeah, if I want to watch it on the big screen, it's different than my computer.
Or your phone.
Kelly, are you drinking?
Oh. No, I'm on a healthy kick.
Why is it so slimy?
It's not slimy. It's just the can that's like, it's a smoother can.
All right.
I'm on a huge health kick right now. Actually been doing really good.
And she squats a lot, apparently.
Right.
Fuck off.
Like basically her body weight.
That's a lot, so fuck off.
I squat my body weight.
All right.
All right, let's move on.
I'm just saying, sometimes I have to squat. Stand back up. I'm not saying I could put 10 reps on my own body, but I know I at least do one. I may not be able to double my body weight. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn kicked off SmackDown Live. Again, they're so looked past and so on and so forth. And Shane comes out after Sami humorously explained why he did not violate what he was told, because he said he could not be ringside. And Sami goes, Shane, you got to choose your words a little bit more carefully, because right now I'm in the ring. This is what you do. You're in the ring. Then he stepped outside. He goes, now I'm outside of the ring, or as we on the inside call it, ringside. And he goes, and you can do a lot of things. You see bad announcers, you see stupid fans, getting good heat, and then he goes onto the station. He goes, now we're in a completely different area. I'm not ringside anymore. I'm outside of the ring. And this is outside of the ringside area. So this is really no jurisdiction to where I'm allowed to be. And then out of nowhere, Orton comes in and blasts KO with an RKO. And it was legitimately one of the few times I've been surprised about an RKO out of nowhere, because I literally wasn't expecting Randy to show up.
Yeah, and I thought this was a really good opening segment. Mm-hmm. Overall, I really liked this segment. Set up for later in the night. I like the nuances later in the show where Kevin Owens didn't hear the announcement that they made because of the RKO.
Yeah.
I liked just a dumb, stupid lying heel. But also what I liked, and I want to point this out too, is I thought when they were first talking before the RKO, what they were saying has some truth to it. Like their argument as to why they're being treated, they're the latest victims of the McMahons, like Brett and, Austin.
But they're better than all of them combined.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they said Austin was treated against McMahon. They said Bret Hart.
He did.
There's no video, so it never happened.
Fuck off.
Callie's been missing shooting cans here all day, and I think she might have just made one out of like 15.
Right. Congratulations.
Let's move on.
You're
All
a
right.
2%.
We know you squat a bunch too. All right. I love it. There's no video to verify.
Fuck off.
So yeah, they said the way Bret Hart.
There's no Smitty here. What else were we gonna do?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
It's not a valid fucking response. Pick on Mikey.
No, can't pick on me.
No,
Fuck off. Yes, you can.
He's quick-witted. Like it might become like an actual battle. You just go fuck off. that's a means of defeat.
Seriously?
I'm sorry. She goes, what again?
Fuck off. I thought the best promo, the best heel promos have a little bit of truth to it. And I thought they had some truth to what they were saying. Even if we don't agree, they, in their viewpoint, have truth to what they're saying.
Just give me the middle finger.
No,
So
no.
I like that.
It's the silent.
There's no
way of
video.
going- Well, it's the silent way of saying
Fuck off.
it's a good little catchphrase.
I just like it. It reminds me of like when a kid cusses. Like he's got to add the extra emphasis to it. You can't, an adult is like, fuck off, man. Whatever. Fuck off. But she, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off.
I can't do as well as you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so agreed. Yeah, because there was a whole bunch of truth to it. He mentioned Brett. They mentioned Austin. They mentioned others. I can't remember who else they mentioned. But I know there was like 3 or 4. So, yeah, it made sense. It all played into it. And then Shane coming out right after that and saying, oh, that's fine, but you're going to take on Randy Orton later tonight. And I want Kevin Owens to be ringside because he's going to be handcuffed to the rope. And then it was even funnier later when they were playing it. He's like, it's inhumane. You can't make me do it. Like they're ringside and Daniel's like, if you don't do it, I'm going to suspend you. And that's cool. And that was funny. And not funny, but it works. It plays into the storyline where I'm the general manager and I'm going to force you to do something even though you don't want to do it. I have to play my card. And then it ended with, okay, we're just trying to separate Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan now. Because they said, oh, they're upset that they aren't involved at Clash of Champions. So Randy Orton's going to be able to fight them, and he's going to be able to pick his partner. So then at the end of the show, they're like, I guess he's picking Nakamura. And he goes, and so Daniel's like, so you're done with it, right? Because you've punished him. And he goes, no, all the stuff they've done, I'm just starting. He goes, if they don't win, they're going to be fired, not just from SmackDown, but of all WWE. And the special guest referee. I don't get that.
But I actually liked that to close the show, and I liked it not because of that, because when you look at Daniel Bryan's face during that segment, they actually did something subtle there where he was like, I don't fucking know about this, which implied that maybe he's gonna get involved to stop Shane, which is like a nice little twist. It makes you want to watch the match more. So I don't care to see the Daniel Bryan Shane thing, but I really liked the fact that Daniel Bryan was not in agreement with him during that segment. So I like the way it ended. And I like the Shinsuke getting involved, which we didn't really cover. But because they showed a graphic earlier tonight, Randy Orton, the mystery partner. I don't think they built that up really very well.
Because right off the bat, right when they said that, I even wrote on Twitter, I was like, yeah, so Shinsuke and Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Right. That said,
it's
still something for Shinsuke to do. And I just feel like he's floundering. They don't really know what to do with him.
Yeah, they didn't have him on TV last week.
So I was okay with that. And then I thought the ending of the show with Daniel Bryan not agreeing with Shane in this subtle way, I thought that was a good little, because they're supposed to feud. Isn't that the rumor? Daniel Bryan and Shane are supposed to do something?
Maybe, if Daniel Bryan gets cleared.
Well, either way, they're probably going to do something together.
There was also the talk of Triple H versus Shane McMahon at, or Triple H and Kurt. Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. I'm honest though, I'm kind of sick of seeing Shane in the ring.
Me too. Again, I've been sick of it.
Yeah, and again, we've said it before. I said I'm an Angle mark. I'm a Shane McMahon mark. There's 3 guys I used to pop really hard for. It was Angle, it was The Rock, and it was Shane. And now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, Shane, you're at least back in the day, he did different stuff in his matches. The random flying chair shot. He's not doing that anymore. You know, yeah, he would go to the Titantron and fall off of that.
I mean, I think he even did a shooting star press.
Yeah.
Either way, he's done other things. It just seems like it's very heavily relying on the same
3 moves now.
Yes, and
like the Cena used to have the 5 moves of doom.
And it's like, it's okay once in a while you can bring up this guy to have like a fight.
Right.
Like this idea that he can just compete with these main event talents who wrestle all the time. It's just so insulting to me. Like, it's insulting to me as a professional wrestler. I go, that is so fucking insulting to do that to the rest of the roster.
Next thing I want to discuss is Bobby Roode and Baron Corbin were set for a United States title match at Clash of Champions. Over the week, it was announced on social media that Dolph Ziggler was added to it. And therefore, most of us are going, oh, well, that means that Dolph Ziggler's taking the fall, so someone else doesn't look weak. And that's all fine and stuff, but I just randomly thrown in there. And then on SmackDown, he's like, well, because I'm just that good. That's where they need me in this match to be better, so that's why they put me in this match. That was another seemingly what the fuck kind of moment for SmackDown that I personally didn't understand.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's very few highlights on SmackDown. I liked, what else? I mean, was really a good segment on SmackDown. Rusev winning, maybe?
Rusev was good.
Yeah, Rusev winning was good. Rusev is good. It's nice to see.
They got added to the tag match now.
Right, which I'm fine with. Rusev has been underrated for a while, underappreciated. I would have liked to seen him get that main event title run, that Jinder guy. I know he's kind of injured, but it's like, that's, if you were trying to build up somebody for that run, I feel like Rusev would have been that guy.
Right.
Just seems like he's floundering too. So I was glad to see him get a fucking win though.
I'd like to see them take the titles.
Yeah, they're entertaining. I think what's the singing guy's name again?
Aiden English.
Man, I'm forgetting everybody's name today.
It's okay.
I'm fucking like Roddy Piper when he was doing his podcast.
You were up really late in the gym.
Yeah, so anyways, Aiden English, I think he's really entertaining with the singing thing. I do think it has a shelf life, and I do think it's going to get old within a couple months. But Rusev, I think, is money. I think he's always been money. I think anything he's ever done, I've enjoyed, except for that one weird Dolph Ziggler feud they did over Lana.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. It was fucking weired.
Yeah.
Other than that, but that might have been the Ziggler effect.
Yeah, it was totally
might have been the zigzag effect.
Such a freaky fucking commercial.
But other than
Sorry, I can't get over that commercial every time I see it.
The Cricket Wireless commercial?
Yeah, it freaks me out.
I'm on fire. Yes, you are.
It's just like every time, I mean, it's like, I don't know if that's worse or seeing like Gulak's face on Twitter.
Love Drew Gulak.
I like
I can't stand how he looks. There's just something about him that's so repulsing.
Yeah, he's not a good looking man, but he's entertaining.
I don't know.
I can't look at. I just can't. Every time I see it, I'm just.
Dang,
that's harsh.
Right?
Right. I mean, we've had some
like
Festuses and we've had some Snitsky's, that new Lars guy, but you're telling me Drew Gulak is the one?
I don't know what it is. There's just something about him. No.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's nice to see Rusev get a little thing. So I like the Rusev stuff, and I like the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn stuff.
I thought the match at the end with Sami and Randy was good.
Yeah.
Good ending to it. I love the bolt cutters coming out.
Yep, I like how the ref got involved there. So all that stuff was good. The rest of the show
I hated the crowd.
Yeah.
I thought the crowd on SmackDown wasn't giving enough props where it was due. I know there was definitely some things like Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode, decent match. You know what I'm saying?
It was whatever.
But Rusev and Aiden.
But I also thought that feud, I think, is whack. I don't understand the Ziggler, why I'd care about Ziggler being involved in
that's
any
why
of
we're
that. Fucking the zigzag effect, man. Just, it's like if you take him out of it, I'm slightly interested. You put him in it, and I'm not interested at all.
Right.
It's like you're there to take a fall. All right, cool.
You know, he was on the Edge and Christian podcast earlier this week, and he had said that. He mentioned, he goes, you know, I'm the gatekeeper. And he goes, and that's fine. I don't mind the role of the gatekeeper. You know, these NXT stars come up, they got to go through me. He goes, but the problem becomes that I'm walking down to the ring and a 4-year-old kid's going, I don't care about this. You're going to lose anyway. He's like, I don't want that. He goes, I get that the 40-year-old guy that's really smart has an idea of that knows what's going to happen. He goes, but when the kids that I'm supposed to be there to entertain, when everyone knows I'm the fall guy, that's not fun for me anymore.
No.
And that's not fun for us.
No.
Because we already know, like we've always said that wrestling is supposed to have some sort of sense of disbelief in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've seen large guys be destroyed, but be beaten by something small. Like when Braun went out against us in the Survivor Series thing because James Ellsworth held his fucking leg. You know, we get it. You know, it's something different. It's not like this guy is going to lose to him, but he's also not going to the way he drops or whatever. But you put Ziggler in anything, 9 times out of 10, Ziggler's taking the fall.
Yeah. And Ziggler, the problem is with him, man, is he's so stale. Like, there's nothing about him at this point that I want to see. Like, and I'm a Ziggler fan. I thought for years Ziggler was one of their most underutilized guys. Mm-hmm. But at this point, man, like, he just never stepped up. He never, even when they kind of gave him the ball, even though they never really committed to giving it to him, but they gave him a little bit. They gave him enough to me to showcase that you could have got more. And I just don't feel like his promos, despite doing stand-up comedy, have never stood out. They, if anything, they stand out for not being good, which is the exact opposite of what you want when you're getting promo time, obviously, it goes without saying. And even his in-ring work, you know, he's supposed to be this great in-ring worker. You put him in there with these other great in-ring workers like Shinsuke, and the match is whatever. Yeah. It's like you can't have that. If you're gonna rest in laurels that you're the in-ring guy, that this is what you're fucking good at, then you better fucking deliver. Like, that's the thing, is like, fine, you can't talk that great. This is your MO. Right now, your only MO is that you can sell. And the sell guy is gonna be the guy who fucking loses. Ric Flair could sell too, but he could also talk. He could also fucking have a great match. Yeah. So if you can only sell, you're a jobber. And
he's a good little worker.
Yeah. And that's
Sigma.
And that's what he is. And it's like, I get his point from booking standpoint. Like, yeah, you have to win some and 50-50 booking says he'll probably win one that we don't expect him to win soon. Maybe he'll win this U.S. title just to fucking spite the fucking booking.
Cool.
But nonetheless, like, it just sucks because it's like, I wanted to cheer you even when we first started this podcast and we were all burying Ziggler, and I was the only one, like, I was like behind him. I was like, no, like, he could be good. Like, no, everything he's done is just.
I used to love Ziggler.
Everything he's done is just whatever.
I used to, not a mark. I didn't used to be a Ziggler mark, but I was like, man, he deserved that title run that he got. You know, when he cashed in, you know, he was heel. Alberto Del Rio was face, and he got a Road Warrior pop. Yeah. You know, simple and plain. He got one of the largest crowd reactions of all time. And then he got an injury, which sucks. And then he had to drop the title. But he came back and it was nothing different. And then it was nothing different further down the line. And it's still nothing different. And, you know, even on the podcast, he had said that, he said, wins and losses don't matter unless you're the one that's losing all the time. I'll agree with that, you know, because did any of us truly believe Bray Wyatt shouldn't have been WWE champion? I don't think so. I don't think any one of us were. Like Joe doesn't like him, you know, but that's about it. No one's like, oh man, I can't. What? Why? That's none of us would believe that I don't believe that he would win that title. No, but he has one of the worst losing win-loss percentages of all time.
Yeah, he's,
you know, and that's where it comes from. I agree that Ziggler, one of the best feuds was him and Miz. It was like the best thing that he had going for him was that little Intercontinental title thing where he was like, I'll quit this place if I don't get that belt. He got the belt, you know. You put Ziggler in anything right now, and sadly, it destroys it.
Yeah, and it is sad. And Bray's the perfect counterpart on Raw, does the same thing. I have hope for him and Matt because it's the perfect opponent for Matt to debut the gimmick with. And
we wanted to see it all last year.
Right.
We were talking about
so I think it makes sense with Matt, so I have hope for that feud. But anything with Ziggler, it's like if you take him out of the Bobby Roode feud.
So we're getting a call right now.
All right, calling in right now. We'll take a pause on that. Mr. Volatile Curtis Wylde, you are listening. You are talking to Mikey on Breaking Down the Ring. Welcome to the show, sir.
What is happening, Mikey? How are you doing out there? What's up to all the fans out there?
Hey, we also got in studio Orlando Christopher.
Hey, how's it going, man?
How you doing, Orlando?
And the next little thing, Callie is here on too.
Hi.
Hi, Callie.
So you're calling in we're going to talk about SICW this December 9th, 2017 at East Carondelet Community Center. We have a huge show going on for SICW, correct?
East Carondelet. That's right.
East Carondelet. See, I don't know how to read.
It's all right. You corrected him.
Yeah, Hooked on Phonics doesn't work for me. So it's a huge thing. The SICW Classic Championship match. You are hoping to win the gold off of Iron Man Ken Casa. Ken Casa. Sorry. Again, man, there we go again. I
Dang, man. Callie, take over this interview.
He's not the one interviewing.
So how long has this feud been going on between you guys, man?
Well, off and on, it's been going on for a couple of years. Every now and again, we cross paths, and then they try to protect him and try to keep him away from me. It's kind of one of those Roman Reigns things. They want to keep him strong. And
taking him away from you is probably the best idea then, because you're going to take this title from him.
Right.
So let's talk about the rest of the card. What else you got on the card?
Well, they got Flash Flanagan against the Big Cowboy.
Is that Flash Flanagan
Mark
from
Houston.
WCW or no? This is a different guy.
Yeah, that's the same Flash Flanagan.
Okay, I thought so. All right.
WCW, Ohio Valley, Puerto Rico.
Andale.
So who's he facing again?
Cowboy Mark Houston.
I could have said that name.
And this is just one big corn-fed hoss of a dude. He's probably about 6'5", 6'7", going to probably 325.
Jesus.
We got Bobby D versus Big Country Clint Poe as well.
Yeah, Clint Poe's another guy that, I don't know why those guys aren't teaming yet, but maybe it's because SICW doesn't have a tag team champion, a tag team championship strap. So,
interesting.
Those guys are very similar. Big Poe and Mark Houston are just a couple of guys that harken back to kind of Bruiser Brody style guys,
Nice. I see you also got one of the guys I helped train, Sean Soto, or he used to wrestle as Sean Santel on your show.
Right. Yeah, him and I think it's Bobby D?
Nope, Keith Smith Jr. They're going against each other.
Yeah, Keith Smith Jr. in third generation.
Mike, you got that name right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I do love about this show, and it's something that is definitely really cool, is obviously you're trying to bring the kids in. You want to have a nice little family thing going on. You guys are having Santa Claus show up for the kids, man?
Well, yeah, they have Santa every December. They bring them out for the kids. It's all about community involvement, and the kids love their Santa Claus. Unfortunately, Santa Claus has sometimes proven to be an imposter and not always been Santa Claus.
You don't
one
say.
Time it was Cowboy Bob Orton.
That son of a...
Yeah.
Cowboy Bob Orton,
and
huh?
all.
Yeah. So Sean, how long have you known him?
Well, to be honest with you, he's just started coming around the SICW circles.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's been around for about 10 years.
Although we've been around the St. Louis wrestling scene together for a long time, we've never really crossed paths until recently.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk a little ICW, man. How long has this company been going?
SICW, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. They've been around for over 40 years now, with promoter Herb Simmons.
Okay.
And he's the left hand of Sam Munchnick, and the other guy that runs the show is Larry Matisick, the voice of Wrestling at the Chase, and he was the right hand of Sam Munchnick when Wrestling at the Chase was going big.
So you said every December.
But they've been around so long that Vince McMahon actually used to use Herb Simmons' promoter's license when he would come to Illinois and do shows.
Really? Man, that's quite a while. Holy crap.
That's when you actually had to have a promoter's license in Illinois.
My next question is regarding, you just said that every December show that they do this. So they've been running it. How long have how many shows a year do you guys do on a regular?
Well, that's a tough call. At bare minimum, it's 12. But there's been times when we've done 15, 18, 20 shows in a year.
All right, so you try and get it out at least on a once a month type basis and stuff,
if not more. Okay.
Right? Which is great for the indie shows and everything like that, because that means there's a good fan base, there's a nice loyal following for it, and you guys are putting up some decent numbers then.
Yeah, it's a good deal for SICW. It's a good deal for the communities that we work with, because most of our home arena shows, the Wild Side Arena, as I like to call it. Of course, Herb Simmons would tell you it's the SICW Arena, or the East Carondelet Community Center.
But you got to stake your claim, sir. That's very important.
Absolutely. That's my house. So we do it at least once a month there at the home arena, and then we go to other spot shows around. So we may be in Swansea or some of the other little towns around the Illinois side of St. Louis at firehouses and raising money for local law enforcement, first responders, schools. It's a give and take situation. We give the community, and they take us in, and we
sell us on the show. Sell us on this show. What makes this show bigger than the rest of the other shows that you guys have been running?
Well, every year they've got two big shows. They've got the May show, which is the Bruiser Brody Memorial Battle Royal, and the Wrestling at the Chase Anniversary show. That's all in May. And that's usually the Bruiser Brody Memorial Cup. They usually bring in somebody that's got something to do with Bruiser Brody. Stan Lariat Hansen. Bruiser Brody's widow was at one of the last shows. Barbara Goodish. Before that, Abdullah the Butcher. And so that's the May show. That's more of our Royal Rumble. And then in December is where a lot of the feuds come to a boil. And that's when a lot of the things that's been going on in the year kind of get figured out. So that's our WrestleMania. That's
fuck, man. So where can they find you guys on on Twitter? Can they find SICW on Twitter, on Facebook?
Twitter, not so much. They can find me on Twitter at Curtis Wylde, WYLDE.
If anyone's following our Twitter, we definitely put that up today too as well.
But then, I retweeted.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And they are very active on Facebook. Herb is way more active than you would think an old school guy would be on Facebook. He does videos every Sunday. Makes it a point to give an update to the fans every Sunday. You guys do have a YouTube as well, right? YouTube is where the TV show gets uploaded. Okay. We do a television show that is aired on local cable on both sides of the river in St. Louis. Charter Spectrum Channel 198.
So if you're in that area and you're listening, you can check out them on TV. You can also find that if you are not in that area, you can check them out on YouTube.
YouTube.com. The user's SICW Wrestling.
Or the Fight app, the Fight TV app.
Oh, nice.
FITE.
Yep.
We're also available on there.
So my question for you then, have you ever held the SICW Classic Championship, or is this your first run at it?
Well, I have had a number one contender match that the winner of that was going to go on to be to face the champion that evening. Otherwise, that's as close as I've gotten so far. This will be my first title shot, and it's on SICW's biggest premiere show of the year. But you see, Herb Slimmons knows that if Curtis Wylde and Wildfire ever get our hands on that SICW Classic Championship, that he'll never get it off of us. So he has done everything he could do, from suspending us to firing us to arresting us multiple times, to try to keep that championship from around my waist. And this Saturday night, he's going to see that he's failed. He has spent over 3 years trying to hold me down. And this Saturday night, I'm going to buck the system, and I'm going to take his Iron Man pillar to post, and we are going to turn East Carondelet into a battleground. And when the smoke clears and all is said and done, Volatile Curtis Wylde is going to walk out of East Carondelet, Illinois, as the SICW Classic Champion.
Volatile Curtis Wylde is who we're talking to here on Breaking Down the Ring. Curtis, how long have you been in the game, man?
Well, I'm on 18 years now.
18 years. Holy hell, man.
So what are some your other accolades, accomplishments in the business?
If you're talking about championships, I've won the Wicked Wrestling Alliance heavyweight title from the Physical Fascination, Brandon Bishop, way back in the day. I don't know if you guys were familiar with Illinois wrestling way back then. And my first championship was actually the Powerhouse Championship Wrestling Light Heavyweight Championship, and I won that from Jimmy Jacobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've been in the ring with him quite a few times. When was this?
That would be back 2001, 2002.
Oh, wow, that's when he was probably jumping Jimmy Jacobs, when he was just a lot smaller back
Actually,
then.
he was the big bully. I don't know if that gimmick ever really got out or if it really caught fire, but he was the big bully, Jimmy Jacobs, and the whole idea behind it was that he was much smaller than most of his opponents.
Yeah, I don't even remember that, so yeah. It's a nice piece of history there.
Gotta love that. So this Saturday, excuse me, December 9th, 2017, plug the hell out of this, man. Plug it to let our listeners know why they need to be paying attention. If they're in the Southern Illinois area, if they're in that area, the St. Louis area, why they need
and even if you're not.
And yes, and why they need to go to this show, and let them know how they can get tickets.
Well, they can get tickets by calling 618-482 or 286-4848. So 618-286-4848. They'll call. The promoter's wife will answer. Very old school. You can reserve your seats and then pay at the door. They don't do the online stuff. It's all old school.
Nice.
And otherwise, you're going to see a whole lot of talent. On the undercard, you're going to see Santa Claus. You're going to see Flash Flanagan, who is a name that you can definitely look up. He was in the ring with guys like John Cena, Randy Orton. Probably helped train some of those guys. And then you're going to see at the top of the card the SICW Classic Champion defending against yours truly, defending against Volatile Curtis Wylde, defending against the Lion of the Lou, the Wolf of West County, the Spark of Forest Park, and the Charismatic Carnivore. And he is going to become the Iron Woman. And he is going to walk out of SICW that night without that championship. Because Wildfire's already got one hell of a party planned for me. She's already got the champagne cracked. She's already got the ladies coming in. She's already got the hot tub prepped.
Nice.
And when we get done, we are going to go have one hell of a celebration. It's going to harken back to the Horsemen. You are going to see something that you've never seen before in the Midwest, and that is Curtis Wylde getting his hands on the SICW Classic Championship, except it's not just any title. This lineage goes all the way back to Wrestling at the Chase. So as far as I'm concerned, I will be the Wrestling at the Chase Classic Champion.
Curtis, man, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciate it. Honestly, good luck in your match this Saturday. Remember, this Saturday, December 9th. Give them the number again, man. The phone number to get tickets.
618-286-4848. And like I said, they can check us out every Sunday on Charter Channel 198, St. Louis area, both sides of the river, at 11:30 on Sunday. And as soon as that episode is finished airing, they can check out the newest episodes on YouTube under SICW Wrestling Explosion.
Awesome. Thank you so much for calling in, Curtis. We really appreciate it, man. Good luck on your match this Saturday, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Not a problem at all, man.
Do it again.
Yes, sir. Later.
All right, bye.
All right, that was Curtis Wylde from SICW and their show this Saturday night.
Volatile.
Volatile.
Curtis.
Didn't
Wow.
seem that volatile, though, to be fair.
I thought he was all right.
He didn't seem very volatile.
I liked him.
Yeah, he was very well-mannered. If anything, you were very well-mannered, Curtis Wylde.
Honestly, though, good luck to Curtis and his lady Wildfire on hopefully taking down the SICW Classic Championship. Again, we'll give a rundown of the matches. Also, Flash Flanagan versus Cowboy Mark Houston. These are all names I can say. Bobby D versus Big Country Clint Poe.
Sure.
The great one, Gary Jackson and Moondog versus Troll and the Big Texan. Wrestling Machine David Vaughn versus Flaming Freddie Fury. Keith Smith Jr. versus Sean Soto. Waco versus Jimmy
John
D.
Soto. That's my boy.
And of course, Santa Claus is going to be in the building for all the kids. Hopefully,
The real one.
it's the real one and not a swerve. Nobody wants to see that.
Or do we?
No, I never want to. Dude, I would never want to see little kids upset. So I
do.
Damn. Kelly with the
Holy
instant heel
shit.
turn.
Oh my God! Did you kick a 5-year-old on the way to the show today?
Oh,
You did.
Oh, wait a minute.
no.
If there's ever a pause and a so after something, that's probably not the play. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You might as well explain that.
Hey, why do you hate kids?
I don't. I swear. So I was in the grocery store.
Kicking kids as she does.
Right.
Aisle
Go ahead.
7, clean up.
Totally.
She's like,
I
fuck
was
off.
in the.
Just kick there. A little punch there.
Fuck off.
No, I had a basket instead of like a grocery cart because I was only supposed to grab a few things and I totally forgot everything on the list. Totally got what I didn't need. But I turned around and nearly took out a kid with the fucking basket.
So joyously telling us this. Yes, I was destroyed a child earlier.
Later when I thought about it, all I could think was if I hit that, because he was right at perfect height, like, because I can only lift it so high right now. The kid was at perfect height that, like, I was ready to turn, and the
What?
kid was right behind me.
Why can you only lift it so high right now? Your arms hurt from all the squats. You're doing it wrong.
Why are you lifting the cart anyways? It has wheels.
No, dude.
The
fucking
basket, you idiot.
The little basket.
Oh, I was imagining a fucking cart.
Yeah.
It's the next little riding hood over here.
Yeah. Walking through the store,
Beating up kids.
taking out little fuckers with,
So
baskets.
what did the kid say?
Nothing. He was like, he must have been like 2.
You almost beat up a 2-year-old?
Yeah.
And you're really happy about it.
You know what? You should
She's
be happy
oddly.
about it.
She started laughing. She started dying
no, 'cause I
laughing. telling us
just
the
thought about
story.
it. So I was like,
you're a monster.
That would have been so horrible. No, that just would have been so horrible if I turned and did take out that kid, because that kid probably would have gone flying.
That'd been funny as hell.
It's,
I don't know why you're trying to kill kids.
I'm not trying to kill the kid. The kid looked up at me with these big doe eyes, and I felt even worse.
beating me, lady.
Pretty much. I was like, oh my God, you're right there on my butt. Cool.
Were you taking him out with your butt or with the cart?
No,
I mean,
he was
with
like,
the
originally he was right behind me, and I didn't know it until like I was turning, and then boom,
All right.
would have been
All right.
child taken out with a basket.
Okay, we kind of mentioned it a little bit. Rusev Day was sung about with Aiden English and everything, and they got the 12 gifts of Rusev Day, and the first one was a Happy Rusev Day shirt. Rusev Day, I'm telling you right now, is huge on social media. Everybody talks about it. Whenever Rusev comes out, he had the chants and everything that we were talking about at Starrcade. People were blowing up wanting Rusev and things like that. So we finally got the shirt. So I'm really hoping it sells well for him. And we've all talked about it. We kind of feel like he's been underutilized, underrated. But again, he's another guy that the injury bug happened because it was in his ankle. He used to wrestle with no boots on. That was his gimmick when he first came up. And even in
which is
NXT.
disgusting, by the way.
Why is it disgusting?
Because guys are sweating and fucking. There's blood on that. Dude, fuck that.
Yeah,
You know
but
how
isn't
nasty that is?
hold on. It's different for like WWE stuff because they change that ring top like 2 or 3 times a match.
I don't care how many times you change it, dude. You can't get stains out of an apron. Okay, I
True,
get,
but like, don't all MMA fighters fight without shoes? And
Oh, yeah.
isn't there blood and sweat all on that shit? And
Oh,
they
she's
don't
got-
change that shit out.
She's got a really good point.
yeah,
though.
but they're not.
So
she just squatted.
Dang. Dang. I gotta give you that. I think you just won an argument.
Yes.
She finally won one, guys.
Right.
Now if she can make more than 1 can out of 15 when she throws them.
Yes.
All right, everybody, look at that. December 6th,
At
2017 at 10:50 at
10:50.
night. Callie won an argument. This is really really crazy
And just
because she's like the only woman on this show. So it's
like the only one, I always am the
Joe
only
is kind
woman.
of small and petite. So,
See the resident when I'm not
but
here.
other than that, it's like women are supposed to always win arguments, and it's taken you 2 years almost to win one.
We never win arguments. What are you talking
No, men
about?
never win arguments. I don't
What
know.
the fuck are you?
Well, he's talking about a very famous stereotype, and you're just reaffirming that you're bad at arguing.
So,
But hey, you won tonight, and I'm happy to put you over. You won.
Ooh, go me.
I
You were
agree,
excited
though.
a minute ago.
Yeah, now all of
You
a
killed
sudden
the
you hate it.
excitement within 2 minutes.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to. All right. So I want to talk about Royal Rumble coming up. Obviously, more than likely, we're going to see Reigns versus Joe at Rumble. So Reigns will probably not be a part of the Rumble. And more than likely, that means a SmackDown guy is going to win the Royal Rumble to face AJ for the WWE Championship. I want to know, because I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's Shinsuke. I don't think they have enough confidence in Shinsuke yet. Could Kevin Owens take the Rumble and it be KO versus AJ, which we've seen for that US title, but it's, again, as much as annoyed as we were at one point, we loved every match. Could you see KO versus AJ as a possibility for WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans?
Yeah, I see it as a possibility.
And how strong of a possibility?
Strong is a hard word to use right now because I don't feel like there's a real strong candidate besides Roman Reigns to win the Rumble right now.
Why do you think Roman's going to win the Rumble?
So he can face Brock Lesnar. Now, I don't think he needs it. But I'm just saying, if I had to pick one guy today to win it, that'd be the guy I fucking pick.
Can I tell you why I wouldn't?
Because hopefully they have a rumor that he's not winning it.
No. This Rumble and this is the exact same place where Roman Reigns won that last time that everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win, and he got booed out of the building in Philadelphia. I think if you're trying to keep the boos away from Roman, the worst thing you could possibly do is involve him in this Royal Rumble and have him win it.
I mean, I that all makes sense, but again, I just don't feel like they give a fuck. I just really think there's an I don't give a fuck what they think mentality that happens. Anyways, I would say, he's probably the only strong favorite. I could see Kevin Owens winning. I think on SmackDown, he's the one built up the best to win it on SmackDown. But I think on Raw, you kind of have a couple more options. I think you still have Strowman. It doesn't make sense in terms of what they're trying to build or anything, but who could be built up to win it? You got, you know what I mean? Like, so there's still time. It's especially with their hot shot, very quick booking. But I think Kevin Owens winning is a real possibility. I wouldn't say that's out of. On SmackDown, to me, he's the strongest candidate to win. I know the rumor is Nakamura and AJ, so it will likely be Nakamura. But like you said, I don't think they have enough fire behind him right now.
Right.
And I think whether they've meant to or not, they put the fire behind Owens. Again, and I think him not being on the Survivor Series team, all this stuff has helped him. It's helped keep him relevant. And he has, he's more over, I would say, than 95% of the guys on SmackDown.
I want to say this was one of the first times I've heard pure heat for him. Like, he would still always usually get cheered. Like,
they got a pop when they first came up, but as soon as they started talking,
yeah,
the crowd shit on him, and I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, and that's something that I haven't seen in a Kevin Owens situation in a while.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Callie, what do you think?
I would like to see it. I don't know if necessarily like WrestleMania. I guess I could see it happening. It'd be an okay. Sorry, it'd be an okay possibility. There's your answers.
It'd be an okay.
Before I put you to sleep, you're sitting over there. You're like, let me.
No. I was getting comfortable. I wasn't. Apologize. Sorry. God. Women. We win an argument all of a sudden. I don't think anybody else but Kevin Owens is the winner for this Royal Rumble. I think that the way everything has been built, the way he has been put over on this show is crazy. It's something you haven't seen in a while. The last time I've seen a feud similar to this is Austin versus McMahon. You know, where it just seems like, and I'm sorry, Shane's kind of going into the heel role here, you know, and therefore it's Austin versus McMahon was good because Austin was the guy telling his boss to fuck off. That's what everybody wanted to do to their own boss. So everyone could relate to it. Shane, I don't feel has a vendetta anymore. And I think they're steering dangerously close to making an accidental double turn, you know, to where Shane goes heel and Kevin goes face. Now, granted, it could be a turn to where Shane goes heel versus face Daniel Bryan, you know, at a later situation. But I think after this match at Clash of Champions, Shane has to stay away from Kevin Owens. Otherwise, Kevin Owens is going to get a pop again. Unless they don't care about that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they do care, to be honest. But either way, I do think Kevin Owens has been built up enough to win the Rumble. I think if you're looking at the SmackDown side of things, there's nobody built up more who would benefit more at this time, right now. Again, there's a month and a half or whatever away still. And that can change. But on the SmackDown side of things, I would feel like he is the strongest candidate for me. Not the strongest candidate overall, because I would still pick Reigns. But on SmackDown, I feel like he would be the one to pick right now.
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. Let's cut it early today. We've had some super long shows.
Yeah.
Let's give our fans
Let's give Dave and Bob who run the podcast Detroit a break.
Yeah, we'll cut it 15 minutes early today. One thing I do want to say to everybody is if you go to prowrestlingtees.com/BDRcast right now, we have our inappropriate ugly Christmas t-shirt.
It's awesome.
It's phenomenal. It says things like suck my bells, like tinsel this, and maybe Hanukkah.
Is that what that's supposed to be?
It's totally Hanukkah.
Okay, because I...
Well, you got to learn how to read, and then
Oh, yeah, really?
Fuck off.
This one can't speak worth shit over here, so...
Look, I can't read Casa. It says Casa. I said Casa because I just assumed.
Casa.
It's a K, so it would be different than a house in Spanish.
They're trying to be original.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But okay. So yeah, prowrestlingtees.com/BDRcast, the brand new, inappropriate, ugly Christmas tee is up. It's a red tee. It's got snowflakes on it. It's got
dicks.
It's got snowflakes with 4
yes,
dicks
it has
in
dicks.
it. There's canes that look like dicks. There's reindeers banging on it. There's a Christmas tree with middle finger styled ornaments. It's beautiful. It's a fucking great shirt.
It is a really, really fun shirt.
So
it's an inappropriate shirt.
Very inappropriate. I mean, look, there's
buy one for your kids. You know, stocking stuffer.
Yeah, give it to them.
I triple dog dare someone to buy one for their kid and then send them to school with that on.
Right. And then at the very end of the day, smack them with the fucking shopping basket.
No.
Oh,
I
I thought that's what you liked. So
took it
we just
too
go.
far.
I don't know. I don't want anyone to wear this to school. I look, you could be a high school kid. See if you can pull it off.
No.
Yeah, try.
An elementary kid would get in less trouble than the high school kid.
Really?
I had a
Because it's on the parents, not on the kid at that point.
I had a Steve Austin shirt that talked when I was a kid.
Really?
And I was probably in like 5th or 6th grade, and it had 3 sound effects. One was glass shattering. Okay. The other one was like DTA, don't trust anybody. And I think the third one was, oh, hell yeah. And the teacher had to know it was me, but I just kept sitting there. I just kept pushing you didn't know it was like a talking shirt. Like you couldn't tell. It just looked like a regular Steve Austin shirt. And I remember just pushing it during class all day, and like this big investigation, like, where's that coming from? Like, in retrospect, the teacher totally knew it was me. Just had no proof that like what I was doing.
Right.
You know? But
Because you're the only one rocking a Stone Cold shirt.
right. Yeah.
And they keep saying, right.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. What? DTA? What? Don't trust anybody.
Right.
Yeah, so go to prowrestlingtees.com/BDRcast. That's cool. Get yourself one of our ugly Christmas tees. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias at BDRcast, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, all of that stuff. Thank you so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate it. You are the reason that we keep on doing this. We are your ring crew.
Orlando.
Callie.
And for Z, Smitey the Mighty, that chump champ, and Joe, Armbar Joe, I am the almighty one. And thank you so much for listening. We are out.